Sometimes, even the best intentions can lead straight to disaster. Picture trying to solve a problem only to make it worse. It sounds unbelievable, but this phenomenon, now known as the cobra effect, has happened many times throughout history, where well-meaning incentives ended up backfiring spectacularly. Around 1900 in India, British colonial officials faced a growing problem: venomous cobras threatening public safety. Their solution seemed simple: pay a bounty for every dead snake turned in. But locals quickly spotted a loophole. Instead of just hunting cobras, some began breeding them to collect more rewards. When the program eventually ended, these snakes were released, leaving the region with an even larger and more dangerous cobra population than before. This story perfectly illustrates how even well-intentioned incentives can spiral completely out of control when people find ways to exploit them. In the early 1900s in Vietnam, French colonial authorities faced a serious rat problem and devised a seemingly clever solution: pay locals for every rat tail they collected. The tails were requested as proof of killed rats for sanitary and health reasons. Officials couldn't possibly handle or collect hordes of rats themselves. But the plan backfired. Instead of exterminating the rats, locals cut off their tails and released them to breed, collecting even more rewards. The rat population soon exploded, making the problem far worse than before. It's a classic example of how well-intentioned incentives can spiral out of control when people find a loophole. Jump ahead to the 1930s. In the Soviet Union, factories were initially rewarded for the number of nails produced, so workers focused on quantity over quality, producing tiny nails that were almost useless. Later, when the system changed to pay by weight, they simply made enormous nails to maximize rewards. Either way, the incentives encouraged the wrong goal: meeting quotas, rather than creating nails that anyone could actually use. It's a clear example of how poorly designed incentives can lead to absurd results. Good intentions don't always lead to good results. Take the US, for example. Nonprofit organizations are paid to help the homeless, but without clear deadlines or accountability, the problem can actually grow instead of shrink. When profit depends on a problem, there's little motivation to truly solve it. Look at the medical industry. Medicine is supposed to heal, but if nobody is sick, pharmaceutical companies risk losing revenue. Sometimes treatments focus on easing symptoms rather than curing the root cause. Or think about private prisons. More arrests mean more income, creating an incentive for the problem to persist rather than disappear. Even in business, history shows the same pattern. In 1924, major light bulb manufacturers met at the Phoebus Cartel and agreed to limit light bulb lifespans. If bulbs lasted too long, they would eventually run out of business. Their intentions weren't evil, they wanted to grow the market. But the result? Consumers paid more and waste increased, and the cycle continues. Whenever profit is tied to a problem, the problem tends to stick around. Industries that thrive on this effectively become parasites, living off issues instead of solving them. It's a powerful reminder. Incentives shape behavior, and if they're designed poorly, even the best intentions can backfire. If you found this video interesting or even a little mind-blowing, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a like. It really helps us make more content that digs into stories like this and shows how the world works, sometimes in ways you won't believe.